When a giant black bag threatens to engulf all of downtown Los Angeles, two humans stand in its way. Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett star in Black Bag. No, that's not at all what this movie is about. I was just hoping to grab your attention. Let's talk about this film in a spoiler-free review. Director Steven Soderbergh teams up with the dude that wrote the screenplay for Jurassic Park and a bunch of other awesome films like Mission Impossible. His last name's actually Soderbergh. It's okay, we're having fun here. What we actually have here with this 90-minute thriller is a Mr. and Mrs. Smith situation in a sense. We have a married couple that are both very awesome agents. And I don't believe there are two actors better suited for these roles than Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. We got Magneto in this movie, we got Galadriel in the film. When I look at these two, I just think to myself, yeah, professional assassins. I believe it, I'm in. Before I get to my hard-hitting thoughts on the movie, if you wouldn't mind just hitting that subscribe really quick, it costs you nothing, it's free of charge, you're welcome, and the notification bell, that way further videos by me show up in your feed. The premise is easy enough to follow. We have a MacGuffin that has been taken that can do unspeakable damage if it falls into the wrong hands, which you better believe it does. It always falls into the wrong hands. But the real kicker here is Michael Fassbender's character, George Woodhouse, is quickly gonna realize the number one target for their investigation is his wife. But is she really guilty? Are there other key players involved? Does it really matter if she is guilty because it's Cate Blanchett and damn it, I'm willing to let her get away with pretty much anything? Well, that's what we're gonna spend the entirety of this film trying to figure out, as this film is really a spy thriller whodunit. If some shady ass shows up in the den with the candlestick, that's probably the guy I look to first. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. But oh man, is it fun to watch play out. I saw one trailer for Black Bag a while back, and I didn't think a whole lot of it. And you know what? Those are some pretty great expectations to have when you watch a movie, because I left this thing incredibly satisfied. What a fun little flick this was. All the little bit agents do their parts, and they do them very well. Great acting across the board, likable characters all over the place. Pierce Brosnan, didn't even know he was in this film until he showed up. I will say, I hope he's wearing a lot of makeup to make him look a little older. Because the picture I have in my head still of Pierce Brosnan is as James Bond, or the guy that gets hit with fruit in the drive-by fruiting, Mrs. Doubtfire style. Hello! Classic. What I'm saying is it sucks watching people get older. It's a good thing I'm gonna stay young forever. Young. If you're looking for a movie with explosions, hand-to-hand combat, gunplay, ass play, unfortunately none of that's at play here. I mean, I think there was one explosion, but that's beyond the point. What we get with this film is a bunch of intimate little scenes that never overstay their welcome, and I always found them very fascinating to watch play out. Think of the first half of Heretic last year, if you saw that one, and then apply it to the whole movie. And that's what you get with Black Bag. Now, I really enjoyed Heretic. I enjoyed this one even more. Outside of the great performances and the slick writing, we also have a killer score that's going on. Really dug the theme song in this one. It's been a while since I even recognized a theme in a film. Typically, it's just a couple generic songs, maybe a pop callback to something from the 80s or 90s. Here, though, they took some time and they composed something pretty sweet. Now, unfortunately, my praises aren't universal across the board here. There are a couple issues. Really just one issue. This is personal preference, of course. I mean, pretty much everything movie criticism-wise is subjective. One man's trash is another man's Madam Web. And for me, I thought the lighting in this movie kind of sucked. I'm not a fan of this whole natural light thing that they're doing lately. We saw it recently with Wicked. Do not like how that film's lit. And here, Soderbergh goes all in on this bloom lighting. It is nuts. There's a scene early on around the dinner table, and there's all these little candle lights just blowing the fuck out of the room. There is lighting blur bending around the corners of people. Sometimes it's straight up blowing off parts of people's faces. They're being obscured by all of the bloom lighting. And clearly this was a choice that was made intentionally, as you will see this throughout the entirety of the film. It's not enough to piss me off, but it was enough of a distraction where I just kept thinking as I'm watching the movie, man, There was probably a really pretty shot here at one point before we unnaturally blew the shit out of the lights. Setting that aside, Black Bag, a very fun watch and a very easy rewatch for me. I love a good tight 90-minute structure. This one follows it to a T, keeping you guessing along for the ride. Nothing is as it seems on its face. I like that the movie kind of dissects what it would mean to be an agent undercover all the time. Oh, and the reason this is called Black Bag is because of the secrecy. Whenever you can't talk to a fellow agent about what you're doing, you just say Black Bag. And then mum's the word. The conversation stops dead in its tracks. Nothing more can be said. So this movie at the end of the day is about trust. Who can you trust? Who can't you? And how could you possibly build a healthy friendship or relationship around a foundation set on lies? Well, you'll have to watch Black Bag to find out that answer. All right, there you have it. My thoughts on the movie. I've been eating good lately. A lot of positive movies coming out for me that I was able to give pretty glowing reviews to. Tomorrow, The Electric State hits Netflix. I'll be watching that and reviewing it. I'm hearing that one is great because straight-to-streaming movies, especially by Netflix, are always really solid. If you're not picking up on that sarcasm, perhaps you're an idiot, because I'm laying it on incredibly thick. I know you're not dumb. You've already subscribed to the channel here. You've liked the video. You've hit the notification bell, so I don't even need to tell you to do it. I will just say thanks for watching, and hopefully I see you next time for that Electric State review. It should be fun. My expectations are also very low for that one, so what's the worst that could happen, right? Thanks again for watching the video. If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it if you checked out patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where fans of my channel go to help support it. There are different tiers with different offerings, exclusives every month. We got multiple movie reviews. There's a vlog monthly. And even if you don't want to plop down $1 a month, you can just sign up for Patreon for free and become a member at no charge. Appreciate your time. Thanks.